Fellas, I bring to you the most broken, busted, vile, insidious, toxic, downright diabolical lineup to ever curse War Thunder. And it is none other than 8.7 US of A. So join me, your exceptionally handsome host, GF26, in ruining every match I play in. Now let me introduce you to the four horsemen of pure evil. We have the loathsome XM800T, the defiled T58, the wretched XM246, and finally, the blighted M60A2, otherwise known as the Starship. These four demons combine to create the most broken and heinous lineup this game has ever and potentially will ever see. So let's take a horrifying insight into each one of these abominations. We're going to start out with my personal favorite, the XM800T. You know it, you probably hate it, but this thing is the king, and I mean the king of rat vehicles. And this tank makes me feel vindicated, fellas. For once in my life, little is better. Fellas, this thing is tiny, and that is a great characteristic for a tank to have in War Thunder, let me tell you. You can abuse your tiny form factor in this thing constantly. You can hide on slopes, you can hide between small gaps in buildings, you can fucking go anywhere and do anything. With a blazing top speed of 88 kilometers an hour, you are fast, fellas. No one is gonna beat you. Except a VT-12, that's definitely gonna beat you. I find that this tank works the absolute best when utilizing the element of surprise and rushing the enemy. Now this tank, like pretty much all tanks, loses a ton of speed if you turn, so it's best to definitely go on a straightaway so you can utilize your max speed, because while the acceleration is definitely good because it's a light tank, it's not the greatest, but it is still very, very good. In overall terms of mobility, fellas, this thing is easily S tier. It ain't no VT-12, I'll tell you that, but it is absolutely S tier. As for the armor, fellas, it has none. In terms of survivability, fellas, this thing is not good, alright? I'm just gonna be honest. If someone even fucking farts in your direction, you're dead. But now, what makes this tank so busted is the mobility combined with the gun. Now, this thing has a little 20mm banger on it, and don't let that fool you, fellas. Do not let that fool you. This thing is mean. It is a straight-up machine gun with the ability to fire 1,050 shots a minute. And fellas, it gets DM63 rounds, which are an APDS shell with 66mm of pen. And I know 66mm of pen is not great, but fellas, you have to understand, you're shooting a fucking billion bullets a second. You are gonna have a shell in every crevice of whatever you're firing at, and eventually one will land. And if somehow, fellas, you find something that you can't pen, that doesn't even matter. You know why? Once again, fellas, you got a goddamn machine gun. You can just break their barrel, break their tracks. What are they gonna do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Dying to this thing is incredibly frustrating, but killing people with it is awesome. This is hands down one of my top 3 favorite vehicles in this game to play, just because it is so much fun to be a little rat. On the GF26 ranking scale, this thing overall is absolutely an S tier. It is an extremely fun vehicle to play. And now, fellas, that's enough about the XM800T. Let's go on to the T58. Now, fellas, in our posse of evil, this one, I'm gonna be honest, it's my least favorite. But don't let that dissuade you, fellas. As you probably already know, this thing is a monster. The T58 is a heavy tank. Therefore, fellas, it's slow. It certainly ain't the slowest, but its max speed is 35 kilometers an hour, which is not good, fellas, not good. But you know what is good? The turret and hull armor on the T58. Hold down, this thing is disgusting, okay? You're not going to get penned. You're not going to get penned from the front unless they shoot your turret ring. Nobody is penning you from the front. The armor of the T58, honestly, I would give it an A-. It's definitely really, really good in the front, but it's not great on the sides or the rear, fellas, like pretty much every other tank. But gentlemen, the gun. The reason that the T-58 is a hated, despised, and downright fatherless vehicle is because of the gun. It reloads in 2.5 seconds, fellas. It fucking reloads in 2.5 seconds. And it ain't a little gun, gentlemen. It's a 155 millimeter banger, okay? This thing does damage, and it does a lot of damage. A good player who knows where to aim is almost unstoppable in this thing because of how fast the reload is. You can just rack up multi-kills. And one of the downsides, fellas, is it's only got 6 rounds in the autoloader. So once those 6 are up, which happens very, very quickly in the heat of combat, you are stuck with your thumb up your ass manually reloading. The T-58 works wonders for everybody except me. I don't know, I'm just not good with it. But gentlemen, don't let my performance dissuade you. It is a disgusting vehicle. On the GF26 rating scale, fellas, this is an easy A flat. Just a flat A. It ain't quite S tier because it's slow, and mobility to me is everything. But gentlemen, it's got a 2.5 second reload. Now our next vehicle, fellas, is none other than the XM246, and oh my god. This is supposedly an anti-air vehicle, but gentlemen, anti-air is what it does the worst. It's an anti-everything vehicle. On God, it really is. This is probably the most broken vehicle, perhaps in the entire game, only rivaled by like the BMPT. Honestly, I honestly mean that. This thing is beyond busted. You know, you see an SPAA and you think, okay, that's a free kill. That's easy, but no. there ain't nothing free about this one. No, sir. The XM246 is just fucked with volumetric armor, okay? This thing has way too much survivability for an SPAA or a vehicle in general. It feels that like 50% of the shells that hit this thing just get eaten by volumetric armor. Like, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare to try to kill this thing if you don't know what you're doing. But you know what's not a nightmare? Killing literally everybody else with the XM246, fellas. It is easy as pie. It has two 35 millimeter bangers on it that each fire 550 shots a minute, gentlemen. This thing is fast. And the most disgusting thing is that it has DM13 rounds with 68 millimeters of pen. And the ammo has explosive filler, fellas. So once you pen something, which you will, it doesn't matter what it is, one of these rounds will find its way into whatever you're shooting at and explode. They're done. It's over. They're cooked. The XM246 is literally a crime against humanity. But as we all know, fellas, a tank can't have it all right? And this thing falls short in the mobility section. The XM246 certainly ain't winning any awards in mobility with a top speed of 48 kilometers an hour that you'll pretty much never hit. It's just not fast, gentlemen. It's not fast at all. But honestly, it doesn't really need to be. Because if it was, well, then we would have a whole nother problem on our hands. But what it lacks in speed, it makes up for with literally everything else. On the GF26 scale, this is an S+ vehicle, all right? It's not the most fun because, well, it's just so overpowered that it's just a point-and-click adventure. That's really it, fellas. It's really that easy. And to me, fun comes from unique playstyles with vehicles. In the XM246, you just look at somebody and they're dead, all right? That's all there really is to it. And last, but certainly not least, the M60A2 Starship. And now what you might notice, fellas, is in the 8.7 lineup, this thing comes in at 8.3, but that don't mean shit. This thing is a demon at range, gentlemen. It is insane at range. It's such a great sniper, and it's fun. It's a fun sniper, too. As for mobility, fellas, this is almost the exact same as the XM246. Its max speed is 48 kilometers an hour. It's pretty slow. It's definitely not winning any awards there. But the survivability in this thing is phenomenal. I don't know what it is about it, but this thing can just eat, all right? It can eat ATGMs. It can eat shells. This thing is pretty hard to kill. But the real star of the show, fellas, is the gun. And more importantly, the ammo in the gun. The Starship has a 152 millimeter yeeter on it, fellas. It ain't a banger, it's a yeeter. This thing lobs shells. This bad boy has a heat shell with 380 millimeters of pen, but gentlemen, it can overpressure, and overpressure it does. The heat shell is also slow and heavy, which means you can lob it over cover and land on people if you're good. But gentlemen, it has a laser rangefinder. You don't have to calculate how far up you have to aim for the crazy drop. It does it for you. And getting long range kills with a heat shell honestly feels awesome, okay? You can snipe with a dart and that's okay. You know, that's just the usual, the norm. But gentlemen, something about overpressuring someone or blowing them up from a heat shell from like a kilometer away just feels awesome. The Starship is a ton of fun at range, and it also comes with ATGMs to boot, but you don't really ever need those. They're kind of just there. They're good to have, good for helicopters and whatnot. But gentlemen, the heat shell is where it is at. Overall, gentlemen, I give the Starship a flat A on the GF26 scale. It's not very good at close range. The reload on it is kind of long. But gentlemen, it is a phenomenal and fun sniper. And that is the most evil, diabolical lineup in War Thunder. And if you like this video, fellas, please leave a like and subscribe. Drop a comment below. Do all that yada, yada, yada. I'm a new channel. I'm trying to get the ball rolling here a little bit. So any support is greatly appreciated. And with all that being said, thank you for watching. And this is GF26 Going Dark.